Alright, you guys, your host, Cy Smith. Man, y'all know it's so past time for us to come together, make our community stronger. I'm excited. It's Saturday Youth Day. I'm in the house of somebody that I go back 15, maybe even 20 years, elder. I'm in his house right now in 60620 zip code. Had the chance to just shake his father's hand, who turned 100 this year. Powerful, powerful. Just sitting there with all that history. I'm 42, so he here 58 years longer than me. Awesome. Let me bring the government. Let me bring my superstar in here. Charles, man. Man, let the people see, man. What's your name, man? Who
Charles.
are you?
My name is Charles. Yeah, I'm Brother Charles. They call me Brother Charles. Been calling me that for years.
Man, look, man. Tell people, man, what is it, man, that's important to you, man? What's your biggest thing you want to see happen in our community for our people?
I like to see our community come together and, be more self-developed, self-developed, do for themselves, do for in our community, because it used to be a time when it was more like that. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of stores in our community. Right. We had a lot of restaurants. Mm-hmm. A lot of people who had their own business, tailors, right. Hatters, mm-hmm. People who owned shoe shops. Right. We had all of that. And when it's sad to say, but when integration came, all of these things kind of left our community.
Now, watch this though.
We were dependent on other people.
Now, but Charles, let me say this. We was together back then, because I hear that, but was it because the more affluent blacks amongst us couldn't wait to get away from us, so when they passed the law, they got the heck out of Dodge? You know what I mean? Because what was that about?
I think that it was more or less, I think some, a type of, something was pitched out there for them to get the idea that they didn't have to be around us. So we'd be divided more.
So they that shallow that they fell for that? They drunk the Kool-Aid?
Yeah, I think they did. I really think they, well, you see the effects of it.
Heck yeah.
I mean.
But I think personally, and I was too young, I wasn't even born, I think personally that they couldn't wait to get away from, because they felt they was better. Because if they had the love, they would have done something to reach back versus getting the heck out of Dodge.
Yeah, well, see, they felt as though that they would, become a better people. But what they did, they became less sensitive to their own needs,
to the plight of their own people. Yeah.
And because of the greed and the selfishness of money.
See, and that's what I mean.
They were offered a better position. Right. Or if they moved to a different place. Right.
That didn't want them anyway.
They really didn't want them, but they would have to pay a little bit more, but they would have that
peace of
mind and a little piece of money that, to go along with that to help support the selfish
lifestyle
desires.
See, and that's why I don't want to let them off the hook, honestly, because as a young black man, I was disappointed that the affluent left us. Yeah, I was disappointed about that. Like, man, that tells me you couldn't wait for the law to say you can, and you fled, you left. And if you rich, give back.
Just like right now, there are a lot of people who are affluent, who have are in positions of power, and positions of influence, and they're in a position to do things that are for us, but they don't want to do that.
That's my point. That's my point, child.
Big businesses, we have businesses in our community. Well, a funeral business. We have funeral businesses in our community. They could be doing a lot more than they do for the people in the community. I mean,
what about the church though?
They could help more development of businesses.
Right, but what about the church more so than that?
$450 billion been going through the hands of our churches, and they haven't done anything with it.
Look at the conditions of us.
The church's job is supposed to be to help the people in the community. But what help are the people in the community get? They just build bigger churches, and the churches get bigger, and they, the people get more and more, well, I say hoodwinked out of their dollars and cents.
Now we at the 5-minute mark. I gotta speed up. Based on what we just talked about, you just donated. You guys go see the picture in a minute. Like, why did you give your $12? Like, why is this important? What National Block Club University is doing?
Yeah, it's very important. You know, we got to come together and do things on a more basis of togetherness. You know, because like they say, yeah, okay, now they got this thing, the New World Order stuff is coming along, and it's well, you see what Trump is doing. He's taking all of the money that has been coming into the community. Mm-hmm. He's
I think that's
taking
good.
That away.
I think that's good.
Another thing he's doing with the veterans, he's doing some things with the veterans and that are not beneficial to veterans, and the laws are beginning to change. So they're talking about taking away veterans who have got disabilities. They're talking about they're discussing how to take them away.
But that part is not good, the veteran, but the benefits from our community, because there are people, and in Chicago being a Democratic city, so much of grant money is used to control black people. Mm-hmm. So they got all these funds and they go to Maggie Daley's program, mm-hmm. which is Mayor Daley's, and that made all the contractors donate to Maggie Daley. Mm-hmm. We as black people love Maggie Daley After School Matters, even though it's used as a control arm, but we mm-hmm. not as dynamic enough to know that that's what that is. Mm-hmm. So if you freeze up that grant money, it's going to force us to do for self more, in my estimation.
Yeah. So another thing, they kind of take the Head Start piece away from the people. It doesn't have. They changed the laws in the Head Start program. There used to be a 70.2 that was beneficial for the parents to rise up, but a lot of the agencies now are taking advantage of the people because of their not being educated, not knowing any better. And
but they use their church, but they use the church to control the people. So a lot of churches get that money. So, but we at the 7-minute mark. Right. Give people your closing argument. Like, what should we do as a people? What's next for us?
The next thing that I think we should do as a people is start pooling our monies together and getting property to plant food and things like that, because we're going to need food. We've got to eat.
Strike Team 7.
And if we don't do that, we ain't going to be here. And people are making it more difficult for us to be here. We're going to have to come together. There's been a lot of talking. I hear a lot of people talk about spiritual, what do you call it, spiritual warfare. We've been in spiritual warfare from the beginning. It's nothing new about spiritual warfare. We supposed to be fighting against evil, but it's a lot of us are becoming going on the side of evil. And that's fighting against the good that we do have and try to provide for ourselves and our family.